So the last one is our tangent function. So I've written out the 0 to 2 pi. And so negative pi over 4, negative 1, negative pi over 2 is undefined. Negative 3 pi over 4 is 1. Negative pi is 0. Negative 5 pi over 4 is negative 1. Negative 3 pi over 2 is undefined. Negative 7 pi over 4 is negative 1 and 0. So again, for this part, negative 2 pi to 2 pi. But for our range, it's from negative infinity to infinity. Okay? And basically, 3 pi over 2, this is 1, so it goes like that. That 0, 0, 0. When you graph it, it's going to look like this. So there's the parent function of tangent. Okay, and basically we're going to work it just like we did the last two. So we're going to start at this table, and we're going to keep going until we actually get a recurring value. Okay. So we're going to do pi over 4, negative pi over 4, negative pi over 2, pi over 2. So this is undefined. This is negative 1, positive 1, undefined. So this is your restricted domain. Okay? So the domain of the restricted function is pi over 2, negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, and the range is from negative infinity to infinity. So what we've done is we've restricted it to here to here. Okay? Next, same thing we did before. We're going to switch our x's and y's. So this is undefined. This is negative 1, 1, undefined. This is negative pi over 2, negative pi over 4, pi over 4, negative pi over 2. Sorry, positive pi over 2. Okay? Boop. There we go. And now we're going to graph it. Okay? And so those vertical asymptotes, x is undefined at negative pi over 2. So what ends up happening is that this ends up being our asymptotes here, pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. And then we still have 0, 0, that works. And then we have negative 1, negative pi over 4. So if that's pi over 2, halfway would be somewhere like right there. And we have 1 pi over 4, which should be somewhere right there. And basically we get that function. Looks like that. And the domain of the inverse tangent is from negative infinity to infinity, but the range, or outputs, is only from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. And that's the inverse tangent. So again, if you look at it from the standpoint, if I drew the parent function here, the one that we have up there, we'd have this here, we'd have this here, we'd have this one here. It'd be 1 pi over 4, so it'd basically be almost the same. It would look like that. That's the parent function. And you can still see we have that reflection over the y equals x. And when you look at it in terms of the quadrants, from here to here, this is quadrant 1, and from here to here, this is quadrant 4. So remember when we talked about graphing tangent and sine, they basically mimicked each other. And again, here in their inverse, the same thing. Quadrant 4 and quadrant 1 is where we have our outputs for inverse tangent, or what we often call arc tangent.